Shalom, Spurs fans. Welcome to LJ Spurs Chat. Right, so far a shit summer window for Spurs. I'm going to have a rant, I'm going to have a moan. So if you don't want to hear me moaning and moaning, don't watch it. Normally I like to bring a bit of banter. I've had enough at the minute. I might be putting the cart before the horse, but I'm getting really frustrated. I've got to vent. Right, Spurs fans, let's start. Regardless of the Morgan Gibbs White deal or no deal fiasco, this summer's transfer window, in my opinion, is absolutely pathetic. I know many of you are going to tell me, be patient, but the season starts in 3 weeks. So any new potential signings, if there's going to be any, are going to miss most of pre-season yet again. So I ask you, Spurs fans, why? Why do Levy and the Tottenham Hotspur board, hello, sir, why do Levy and the Tottenham Hotspur board never learn? Surely it is best to get your targets in early as you can, ready for the new season, but time after time they just don't. Why not? Please tell me, what is their possible excuse? There isn't one. There absolutely isn't one. And it does my nutting. No planning whatsoever, from what I can see. So how come other clubs can go in and buy their targets in the matter of days, but we faff around for weeks and weeks, and more often than that, lose out on a player? I was drawn in, I admit, when we signed Kudos, and then we got the here we go for Morgan Gibbs White. I was like, you know what? They've actually learned. But no, we haven't done anything. Alas, no, Spurs fans, again. For example, Douglas Luiz is a proven Premier League number 6, which we've been crying out for how many years? He's available, 25 million quid. He should be signed already. Absolute nonsense. We should have already signed him, Spurs fans. Is it because they don't want to deal with Daniel Levy anymore? I just don't know, and I just don't understand it, especially as he came out himself and said he wants to win the Champions League. He wants to win the Premier League. The strategy is to just sign bargain signings to get the lowest price. Yeah, I totally agree with you, mate, and it's really pissing me off, to be honest. Pardon my friend, there might be a bit of swearing tonight. I just want to go on a bit late, to be honest. I'm just so fed up with it. Right? Look, Liverpool had, I think it was £7 million of free cash. Tottenham, from what we're led to believe, had £79 million of free cash. So why have Liverpool gone out and spent like 300 million quid? Why can't we do it? Chelsea, they just take the piss. They spend. We're not doing absolutely anything. I don't understand it. Where's this phantom investment? Did ENIC put any money into their of their own into the club? Because it doesn't look like it. And there's a pattern here, ladies and gents. There's a pattern. It's just a business to a minute. We are, I've said it before, we are an entertainment facility which just so happens to have football as one of its entertainments. Nothing will change under ENIC, and I really hope that I'm proved wrong before this window closes, because if it doesn't, these protests that were going on last year, they need to get bigger and they need to get louder. I mean, and we need to get them out. We need to get them out, Spurs fans. I know I'm sounding like probably an arsehole. People that disagree won't like it, but I'm speaking from the heart, to be honest with you. And if I am proved wrong, then I'll hold my hands up. But it's just winding me up, mate. They're taking the piss out of loyal, hard-working people who keep going to these games, spending their hard-earned cash in the hope of change, in the hope of success coming to their beloved football club. People are going to shout out now saying, LJ, we just won the Europa League. Yeah, but we're not kicking on. We're not kicking on at all, just as we didn't kick on in the Sorry, I'm getting messages through it as I'm doing this. As we're not kicking on, or we didn't kick on from the Champions League final. We can attract players. Who knows when we're going to get back into the Champions League? Especially after watching how the other teams are strengthening so far in this window. So this window is massive, absolutely massive. As I said, I really hope I'm honestly proved wrong. We go out and sign 3 players because we just need 3 more players, in my opinion, that could just walk straight into our first team, not bench players, not like you said there, bargain players, etc., squad players, people with potential. You know, it's all right signing players with potential. We need 3 players to go straight into that team, and we've got a decent team there. We're going to get eaten, mate. I'm dreading it. If we go into there, we're going to get absolutely smashed, mate. Absolutely smashed. But if we don't do this, we are going to go stale. I don't think, even if the window was to end tomorrow, I don't think we'll end 17th again. But there's no chance that we'll get back into the Champions League via the league, unless Thomas Frank's got a magic wand. And at this moment in time, I actually feel really sorry for him, because it looks once again that he's just another manager who won't be back properly. Someone said this to me today: a poison chalice, LJ, is this Tottenham manager's job. So I knew what it meant, but I thought I'd look up the meaning, right? And it says the meaning of this phrase. It says something that seems very good when it's first received, but in fact does great harm to the person who receives it. That says it all. It is a poison chalice. Look at the amount of managers we've had. You know, it's mental. Anyway, let's be rant over a little bit. I don't often have a rant or a negative view, but I admit it is getting me to now, so I have to have my little late night thing. But please let me know whenever you watch this. What do you think? Am I being over dramatic? Am I being impatient? Will we sign these 3 players that can walk straight into our 11? If we have to sell to buy them, why haven't we sold anyone? Right? For example, yeah, I know people are going to laugh. It looks like Isaac's going to Liverpool, but why didn't Tottenham board go, look, let's bid 70 million quid and offer him a Charleston and Basuma? Right? That's just a hypothetical situation, but you know, you might get told to fuck off. But if you're ambitious, you need to get rid of players. You got a bit of dough. Why don't they do something like that? Because we surely can't go into the season with just Solanke and Richarlison. I just don't understand it. I'm absolutely fed up with it. Anyway, on to our captain legend. So Sonny could be off after the tour. A bid of between 15 to 20 million pound is thought to be on the table from Los Angeles FC, where he could team up with former teammate Hugo Lloris. If he goes. Fair play, Sonny. Who will replace him? We've got Tell, we've got Odegaard. Are they happy with that? Because I won't be. What a legend he has been for the club. We will never forget what he's done for the club. What's this? When you buy too many players with potential, that is it. Yeah, then they're not very good, are they, mate, at getting rid of players at all? I mean, the squad isn't as big as Chelsea's, but whose is? But I just don't get it, man. It's doing my brain right in. It's doing my brain right in. You know, back to Sonny. What a legend he's been for the club, eh? We'll never forget what he's done for the club, and who will ever forget his partnership with Harry Kane? Their partnership led to 47 goal combinations, making them the most successful attacking duo in Premier League history in terms of combined goals, surpassing the record of Drogba and Frank Lampard. Absolutely fantastic. Daring not to compete. Yeah, profit over glory, mate. It's a shame, innit, because we've got everything there, mate. Everything is in place: the ground, the training facility. But what's the point of having all that? We are. If you used to come to our club as like an ambassador, a future investor, big bad wrong, right? You'd come along, you'd see all this stadium and facilities, and you'd think this is a massive club. But then when you start delving into it, they're not. We're not. We're actually not. We're a sleeping giant. That's what we are. and that is because of the owners. Anyway, obviously we can get more dough for Son, but he deserves, in my opinion, to go wherever he wants. Because he's made, it doesn't matter if he can't get the 56 million, because he's made absolute shit loads of dough due to the Korean market, ain't he? Hence why he can't go before the tour, because they'll lose 75% of their fee. And also, if he doesn't play, they'll lose 50% of his fees, something like that. Going around. But my message to him is leave on a high, Mush, and thanks for your loyal service, and best of luck to you. But as I said, will we replace him with proven quality? I doubt it, and this is what really frustrates me and many other fans. Apparently, Spurs are still in talks with Polinia, but negotiations are still ongoing. Levy wants a loan deal, so no doubt he's haggling over the dough as they prefer a permanent deal. As I said on my previous video, the best option would be, in my opinion, a loan with an optional obligation to buy. Another potential supposed target, Wiss at Brentford, has now said he wants to join only Newcastle. Would have been a nice addition, but I'm not too bothered about it. Do you know what, though? I'm more intrigued. I might be reading too much into this. You'll have to let me know. I'm very intrigued as to why Mbeumo and Wissa didn't want to team up again with Thomas Frank. I find that very strange. Because obviously we see it from the outside, they're happy, they're scoring goals, they're putting in great performances, work rates. They look like two great players, but I would have thought even just one of them would have wanted to team up with Frank again. Am I reading too much into it? I don't know. But anyway, as I said, we can't go into the season with just Solanke up front because Richarlison is never fit, and although Kudus is a good addition, he'll be inconsistent. Flair players are often inconsistent, aren't they? Yeah, maybe, mate. That was me, though, Ron. I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to go there. Especially if I was Wiss's age, I'm not going to go back and team up with me, a manager there, because he'll play me every week. Yeah, this is crazy, isn't it? See, yeah, Manchester United are the bigger draw globally, but this is what I can't get. How would they get? They are shit, aren't they? Let's say it straight. They're shit, aren't they? Would you go to Man United now, or is it all about the peas, as the young fellas call it now? Is it all about the dough? Because I think that boy Brabo wants 300 grand a week, doesn't he? I just can't understand it. I know I'm a bit biased, but if I had to look at it at the minute, I'd think, even if it was just for this season coming, I'd think, well, Man United ain't going to get in the Champions League. Spurs are in the Champions League. They just won a cup. Bit of momentum there. I know globally, yeah, I know what you're saying. I do. They are probably one of the biggest clubs in the world. I just can't see them improving, actually. I know they've got a good front line, but it baffles me, man. I think maybe it's a generational thing. There's no loyalty anymore. They go with the Dubbies. But if it was me personally, I would have gone to the manager that played me every time. I don't know. Yeah, but as I said, we can't go into the season with just Solanke up front because Richarlison never fit enough. Flair players like Kudus, he's going to be great. He's a typical Spurs player of old. Flair, we love it, but them sort of players are going to be inconsistent. With the Champions League season and other whole heap of games, I think we need to get another striker. That's what I said earlier. Also, rumours are circulating about Anthony Gordon. Although no reliable sources are following this up, that'd be ideal for us, wouldn't it? Especially if Sonny goes, put a cheeky bid in. Feel a bit sorry for Newcastle. I haven't got nothing against Newcastle. They are a sleeping giant. They've had a good season, but from what I'm hearing, it's always been quite difficult to get players up there because of where it is. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see the wage bill, isn't it, this time? Surely it's got to go up. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want to harp on or come back to that more. I don't know what you think, Big Bad Ron, but I don't understand what is going on with this Gibbs White thing. It's absolutely mental. I don't understand it. It's like because we can't get him, because there's a stalemate, it seems to have frozen all of our window. Like it's thrown us into panic or chaos. We don't seem to be doing anything. It's strange. The club have decided today they'll have it. Mikey Moore's going to go out on loan. I see a few people online moaning about that. Listen, he ain't going to get many minutes. So I think depending where he goes, I think that's a good move for Mikey Moore. A bit of sort of hope. I hope this signing happens. Spurs apparently have made a direct inquiry into Kobe Mainoo. And I can't believe Manchester United are actually considering getting rid of this player. Man United apparently are struggling to meet the midfielder's salary. Um, he wants £120,000 a week to stay at Old Trafford, which has been a sticking point apparently for months. He's currently only on 25 grand a week. If reports are true, then I'd be happy with this. I think it's a decent player, and before anyone asks, well, where would he fit into the team? With the amount of games this season, we need a squad, Spurs fans, a squad with quality and depth, not just numbers. So I'd be all over this. I don't know what you think, Ron. I'd be all over that, mate. I really would. And also, competition more often than not does raise players' performances. Rumours are as well, I don't know if it's true or not, that he is a Spurs fan. I don't know if that's true or not, because I thought he came up with the United Academy, so who knows. But whether he was or not, I would be all over that. I'm going to watch that one very closely. Anyway, Spurs fans, who do you want to see us going for? Am I going to have egg on my face because we actually do go out and sign some quality? What's your views on how the club is currently run? Yes, I did hear that, but then I heard the other day that they're not going to go in for him, Ron, because he's too much money. Apparently, they wanted, well, they're saying 100 million in it, so let's be realistic. They'll probably get 70 for him. Semenyo has signed a new contract, and I did want him because he can play on both flanks. Obviously, Eze is still there, but apparently it just come out earlier this evening that Arsenal are going to go in for him. So that would really piss me off. But funnily enough, and I did disagree with a lot of people when they said if you had a choice, LJ, between Eze and Semenyo, who would you have? And surprisingly, I actually did say Semenyo, only because Eze's a better player, but only because I know we're not going to buy loads of players. So for me, because Semenyo can play across the lot, I thought I'd rather have him. In an ideal world, a big club world, you'd go after both, wouldn't you? But we know that's not going to happen. Wharton is quality, but I just can't see. I can't see Levy doing it, mate. Are you fed up with Levy, Big Bad Ron? Or are you happy as we've got the great stadium and etc. etc. Because many fans attended the process last season, and the number are growing. But quite surprisingly, you may feel the fan base are still quite divided, aren't they, on the Levy and the board, which I find quite surprising. But you have to admit it, they are. But all I want is for my team to be able to compete, and the manager given the support to compete. If we were skint, if we was in a couple of divisions lower and we were skint, obviously you'd accept it. But when you see how much revenue that this club brings in, and that we are actually in a position to compete, this is what drives me mad. Do you know what I mean? Because they're just not interested in the football side of things. And how I did get drawn into it when, as I said at the start, when we signed Kudos, then we got the Here We Go for Gibbs White, and then Levy came out and said that. I thought that they're learning here. And I did get fooled by it because I don't often get fooled by his bullshit, but I was actually drawn in by this. I thought maybe they have with the new fella coming on as well, who is also apparently supposed to be really good at liaising with the people, with the public, with the fans. Well, he's had his first test straight away with the Morgan Gibbs White deal. So why hasn't he come out and said anything? If he's supposed to be so good with the fan base. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he just penny pinches, doesn't he, mate? Which is annoys me. Which is what surprised me when it came out that Spurs had activated Morgan Gibbs White's release clause. I was really surprised, but then it came out, didn't it, later on that it was over 2 years, which I thought that's more like it. You know what I mean? But the way I look at it is, we won the cup last year, the Europa League, right? And while that was fantastic, brilliant, can't underestimate. I'm so happy that we won the cup. Take that away. I know people say you can't take it away, happened, but listen, just hear me out. Take that away. Last season was probably one of the worst for many, many years. And I thought that might have given him a bit of a kick up the bum. Do you know what I mean? That I think by winning that, papered over a lot of cracks. Do you know what I mean? I really do think that. But what about you, Ron? Were you Ennick in, Ennick out? Were you on the fence? As I said, sorry about me rant. That's why I've done it late. So maybe people can not have a go at me tonight. They can watch it tomorrow, watch this tomorrow, and not throw a load of abuse at me. But I don't think I'm like one of few. I think there's a lot of people thinking this, and I think that these protests will get louder and louder and louder. I really don't understand it. I'd love someone to come out and tell me, like I said, how Liverpool can go out and spend all this money when they had less cash. Because I haven't heard nothing about them signing any massive sponsor deals or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, if we haven't got the cash there, which is what Levy does, if we haven't got the cash, then if you haven't got the cash and you need to sell, why ain't you sold anyone? Because as we stand here now, it looks like, let's forget the Morgan Gibbs White thing. It looks like as we sit here now, we're basically going to go into next season with the same squad. I think the idea is to cause lose interest. Yeah, but that's a bit of a myth now, isn't it? Yeah, you've been levied. That's a bit of a myth. But as I was saying, Ron, it looks to me like we're going to go into as I said, open prove wrong, but it looks like we're going to go into the season with the same squad. Obviously, we've got Kudus, maybe Gibbs White then. And he came out the other day, didn't he, saying that part of the deal for Frank to sign on with Tottenham at Levy said you've got to develop the young academy players, which is a good thing, but not if it's detrimental to signings. And as I sit here now, I've had enough, mate. I've had enough. I really have had enough of them. You've been as patient as I can with them, but I said this window is probably the biggest window for many a year. We've got a chance to kick on because I can see me sitting here next year going, okay, we ended 8th, 7th, got to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup, got to the semi-finals of the FA Cup, managed to get through to last 16 of the Champions League. Is that it? Would Levy be happy with that? This is what frustrates me when all you need is, like I said, 3 signings to walk straight into that team. I mean, imagine you got your Kudus, Gibbs White comes in, Mainu comes in, another striker needs to come in, and a cover for left back. People saying that, oh, Frank's happy that Mickey van der Ven can cover at left back. No. Mickey van der Ven go down the left back, he'll pull his hamstring. Yes, he can play that in emergency. We need to buy a left back. So there's not actually that much. This is what annoys me, is what I'm saying. This is why I'm having me rant today, because there isn't a lot we've got to do. A left back, an attacker, someone to replace Sonny. That's it, really, isn't it? That's all you got to do. You got your squad. What do you think? Do you think we're going to go and sign these 3 players? Well, I'm just saying 3 players. I mean, if they come out before the window shuts and they banged on 3 players, then I'll hold my hands up. They most likely get the targets. Yeah. But the thing is, like I said at the very beginning of this, why don't they get these players? Can you imagine being a manager of Tottenham? You surely got to say, look, get them in, mate. Get them in early. I want them to come in before pre-season. They never do it. Yeah. Well, you're not cheering me up here, mate. But you're a realist, aren't you, like me? It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. It really is. I mean, they could have gone out, bought Kudos, Eze, Mainu, Gibbs White. Oh, it's just, I shouldn't torture myself, should I? Do you know what I mean? Is there anyone that you'd like us to see go for, mate? Frank's first big wage, mate. Yeah, do you know what? You might be right. That I really hope not. But yeah, do you think he could be? I just hope it ain't going to be a case of he's going to be like a rabbit caught in the headlights. Maybe laughing that interview. Did you see that interview when he said, I've never been sacked yet? I thought, well, you will at this club, mate. 100 million%. Yeah, I am. I do. Are you happy with Frank coming? Being round on, I am. I'm quite happy because I know you only see snips of the training, but he is a good coach. Seems to be a good man manager. I think he will improve it. As I said last time, anyone could have improved it, really, couldn't they, of what it was? I am quite looking forward to it, but I'd like to see him get the players that he wants. Because when I saw an interview previous, and someone said to him, if you get interviewed by another club, no, don't change. If you get interviewed by another club, what's important? He named a number of things, but he also did say about the financials and the signings. So, or because you just mentioned there that it was his first big wage, maybe he sort of turned up at the interview and was sort of, before he even went to the interview, he knew he wanted to say yes. So if they had to turn around and gone, look, there's no money, mate, I think he would have signed there anyway, because like you said, it's his first big job, isn't it? First big wage, as you put it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I could develop the academy because everyone comes along, don't they? And they think they can be the one to turn Tottenham round. All this could have been, all of this could have been avoided, couldn't it? From years ago, under Poch when he wanted to rebuild. All of this could have been avoided. And I bet Daniel Levy, right in the back there, in his vault, he knows that, but he'll never admit it. He'll never admit it. Yeah, nothing changes. No, nothing will change, mate. But as I said, maybe I'll be proved wrong. I'll have to come back on here and say, Levy, I hold my hands up much, But it just really frustrates me. I've been thinking about it all for the last couple of days. It's really pissing me off. I'm refreshing all the Twitter pages. I don't know why I do it to myself. I suppose it's part and parcel of being a Spurs fan, trying to find out the bullshit from the truth. There's just nothing. Yeah, a few people are saying that, mate. A few people I've seen. I've seen a lot of. I keep calling it Twitter. I know it's called X now, but I'm going to call it Twitter. I've seen so many people on Twitter saying same old bullshit, Enig out, and the hashtag Enig out is coming again. It is coming again. Do you know what I mean? I just don't understand it. Hopefully they're working on stuff in the background because you never know, do you? That Morgan Gibbs White thing came out completely out of the blue, didn't it? So I'm hoping there'll be another couple or three in that. But it's not just the signings from that's doing my head in. They're not getting rid of anyone. I know he's got to have a look at them, but he knows. He knows who's good, who's not good. Premier League managers do their own work on other teams. Well, unless you're at you don't give a shit who you blame. But a good manager will know the ins and out of the opposition. I know the fringe players, I hope they don't. Isn't that Voskovic, the beast? I hope they don't send him out on loan because they just put another Bush out on loan, didn't they? I just don't see the point. He's going to be like another. Is it Stephen Corker? Do you remember him? He kept going out on loan, kept going out, and then nothing goes. Just get rid of him. You're underwhelmed by Kudos. Yeah, I think I wasn't a massive fan of Morgan Gibbs White, but then I hadn't really paid a lot of attention to him. And when I did do a bit of digging and things, he is quite good. Um, Kudos excites me only because I'm 51 years of age. Over the years, especially the other years, the earlier years, I've always loved Blair players at Tottenham. Like Hoddle, Gaza, Ginola, Klinsmann. I've probably missed out a few, but he's that sort of player. So I do, as I said earlier, he will be inconsistent. He's just he get bums off seats. Do you know what I mean? And he's a player that will be direct, like Johnson's not, is he? He'll turn up at the backstick knocking, but we miss players that just have a go. Sonny don't seem to have it anymore. He seems to have lost the yard of pace. Kudos will at least go at players. Adam Wharton, he is a really good player. Like I said, I can't see that. Not this year. Apparently, he said he's happy to stay at Palace for one more season. So why not? Well, I say why not? They might be doing it. Why not do a deal for next season? I don't see why teams don't do that. They may do that. I don't know. If that was me, I would have say, look, let's make a deal for next season. Must be ways around that. Clauses in contracts if you end up high or whatever, and puts more money on it or whatever. Would you be happy with Mainu for Man United? I think it had competition. I really do. I mean, the other side of it is maybe the board are looking at it, sitting down thinking, under Ange's way of playing, some of the players, I'll give an example, Madison, were victims of the system. So, you know, maybe they're thinking that we don't actually need that much. If we don't get proper players in, we're technical. Yeah, yeah. You want ready made? Yeah, yeah. Oh, to be fair, I suppose you could even say that Mainu is ready made. I mean, I've seen him play well. He played well for England. Yeah, I sort of half agree with you there, Chef. You know what I mean? I think he could come into the team and do a job. If they're not going to come straight in, right? Like I said, I want three players to come straight in. Like you sound like that's what you want. At least you know if you take midfielder off and put someone like Mainu on, we're not going to go down. Oh yeah, well that's about football's all about opinions, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Because what was this? Spurs' fit first 11 was good, and as soon as the subs come on, it was bollocks, wasn't it? It was absolutely bollocks. So that's what I want to see. If they're not going to get the free players, do you not like Garnacho either? Yeah, we have been rumoured with him, £40 million. And to be honest with you, if Son goes, I know he's a bit of an attitude thing. If Son goes, just get him, mate. Just get him, because he actually did change the game, didn't he, in the Europa League final, and he caused us a lot of problems. Yeah, there's probably better out there, but at 40 million quid, I'd have Garnacho, mate, if Son leaves, because we need wingers that attack the fullbacks. Yeah, I see a lot of players don't want him, but it depends, I suppose. If they haven't got any money, 40 million ain't that bad. Yeah, 40 million. I'll take it you're not a great fan of his either then. Beggars can't be choosers, Rob. Can't be choosers. Yeah, that's all he seems to think about, isn't it? That's all he seems to think about, which is why I was quite surprised that he actually went in and bought Archie Gray for 40 million. He must really, really rate him, because he's probably going to double his money on him if he gets a look in. See, now I've calmed down a bit. I've had my little vent, and I'm starting to think that what I just said a minute ago. Maybe he's thinking, and Thomas Franks had a look and goes, you know what, we don't actually need a lot. You know, get me players that will come on so the level stays the same. Maybe they're thinking like that. But I think they've got to make one big signing. I think they've got to make one big signing at least to appease the fans. Or maybe that was Kudos, however you pronounce his name. Do you know what I mean? Well, anyway, I've had my little rant late at night, so no one can see it. Nice chatting to you, and Big Bad Ron. And let's hope the next time I come on here, I'm eating humble pie. I'll quite willingly eat humble pie if it means we've signed a few. And I'll speak to you all soon, Spurs fans. Go Spurs.